That question, was the ball advanced?
No. Impeachment's over.
They needed more fuel for any kind of impeachment effort.
So look, on optics, this was a disaster.
A lot of Democrats in particular used the D word and branded this a disaster.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Liberal Expression, where at the beginning of this week, the leftist media just couldn't wait for the powerful testimony of Robert Mueller because of the high stakes.
Everybody here in D.C. counting down to Mueller time.
Pretty much whatever happens tomorrow is high stakes.
High stakes hearing on Capitol Hill.
The stakes are extremely high.
The stakes are so high.
The stakes could not be higher. So crucial.
Really, really important.
Unless, of course, that testimony failed to meet their expectations.
That question, was the ball advanced?
No. Impeachment's over.
They needed more fuel for any kind of impeachment effort.
So look, on optics, this was a disaster.
A lot of Democrats in particular used the D word and branded this a disaster.
So even the lefty media has to admit that Mueller's testimony was a disaster for Democrats. But they cannot give up on this issue. They've invested too much into pumping this up. They have to find something.
And it seems that as a result of the hearings, the impeachment movement has been set back rather than set forward. But I will tell you one thing I was stunned that they didn't focus on more were the fact that Mueller in his report talked about people associated with the Trump campaign deleting relevant emails.
Oh, so now the leftist media is interested in talking about deleted emails. You know, I thought that was a topic that they generally just ignored. I wonder where they've been on that. Well, since the Mueller report came up with no collusion and the Mueller hearings ground the media's dreams of impeachment to a halt, there is clearly only one answer to this situation, and the media is now demanding more Mueller hearings.
Your point is so important about what today's hearings represent and what future hearings could be. And hearing from the Mueller team, as many members of the Mueller team as possible, is really important.
Yeah, you know, if you just couldn't get enough of Mueller not knowing what was in that report, let's bring in more people.
Is that correct?
And do you have the citations, ma'am?
Page 12, volume 2.
And which portion of that page?
So after all the media hype,
Do you think there's a make or break moment?
Look, it's their make or break moment.
Could the outcome sway undecided House Democrats on impeachment?
Mueller disappointed the Democrats. So let's find somebody to blame. MSNBC blames Mueller's poor performance as the fault of Republicans. Because, you know, somebody allowed them to ask pesky questions.
But it's shameful that Republicans were so focused on trying to undermine the origins of the investigation.
How dare they question the Democratic-funded Steele dossier that took information from the Russians and started the whole collusion-delusion drama that swept over the lefty mindset. You know, if the media knew Mueller was not going to give them what they wanted, well, they never would have asked for this hearing.
And I'm just, I am really surprised if they're overselling this as the movie, the blockbuster movie. And they know that the man is facing apparently some challenges, that they put him in front of the cameras. Of course, we were all calling for public hearings, but we did not know what people close to Robert Mueller knew and what the Democrats knew, that he should not have been in the glare of a public spotlight.
But don't just think because Mueller's testimony failed to give them what they want that the media is ready to give up talking about this.
We in the media didn't do a good enough job of summarizing it in a kind of a bite-sized way. It took us too long. The Democrats could have done the same thing. Like, why not get everything on a 3x5 card that we just say over and over and over? I mean, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, the leftist media just doesn't repeat Democratic talking points enough. That's the problem. And they're never, ever wrong.
There is tons of proof of potential collusion.
We have dramatic evidence of collusion.
How is it not collusion? How is all of that not collusion?
The collusion piece of this, piece by piece, starting to be built out.
A political hurricane is out there at sea for him. We'll call it Hurricane Vladimir, if you will.
Donald Trump knows the noose is tightening.
The noose is tightening.
The noose is tightening, if you will.
The noose is tightening around the president.
The noose is tightening. And I think they're shocked that the noose is tightening.
You know, I think if you give the media enough rope on this one, they might just hang themselves. I'm Eric Shiner for MRC-TV. Thanks for watching and subscribing. We'll be back next week with more liberal media wackiness.